Cody with Red Right Hand. Real quick, just wanted to discuss and show off the Restomod line of upper receivers. I haven't made a video on this yet, so just quick breakdown of why it came about, what it is, what it isn't, and just show off the couple models that we have available for the Restomod series. The Restomod series was basically, everybody wants a Colt LMG, but getting an actual Colt LMG is pretty much impossible. A lot of the components for those are not made here in the US. They're made in Canada by Demaco. And just, you know, the supply of that is in Canada, and those guys, they don't share with us. So it's, I can't call up Canada, trust me, I tried, and be like, hey, export them to me. They won't do that. So when the Colt production was adopted by Canada, it went up there and then it never really stayed in the US. That's why a Colt LMG upper is like $7,000 plus if you do find one. They're exuberantly hard to get your hands on. So a lot of people wanted like the vibes, and they wanted to kind of have the feels. And there's a couple ways we could do this. And so approaching this was, how do we make a similar, so there's a word for this, but like a facsimile, that's the word. Facsimile of a Colt LMG at home. You can kind of get, some of that nostalgia, but also have something pretty damn practical. So of course it's going to have the Red Right Hand twist on it. Of course, this system, these uppers are built with our heat mitigation system. It's a modified version from the Recce LMG line of products because, well, there's things here that we have to do to make this work that you just can't make with, some other stuff. So the big one being, these are our H-bars. These are 980 H-bars. We sell them with the chrome line versions that we make. These are made by Roscoe. They're excellent. They're 980 between the handguard and the standard M16 out the front, so a 750 gas journal, which is why we have a A2 front sight base on here. This is a standard A2 front sight base, which means it's low. And when we show you the heatsink system, you'll see what we had to do to make that work with the heatsink system as well as these handguards. Because the original Colt LMG, they were 936 or 9, like they're huge gas blocks. Can't get those in America. They're also for straight gas tubes, which is cool, but just don't have them here. So in order to make this not $1 billion and invest all this crazy amount of money into getting that here, we're just using standard front sight bases for these builds. But what we were able to do is we partnered up with Retro Arms. And Retro Arms has the original mold for this, for the handguard, the original Colt LMG handguard. And they make runs of these, and we're able to get runs directly from them. It's made out of the proper thermoset plastic, so they're extremely tough. We had them put a heat shield in this, so we have aluminum heat shields, and they're built to be to spec what the Colt LMG handguards were. So that's neat. So basically it was like, how do we make an upper, put our heat sink system in it, give it the look and an original handguard. And so that's basically what we did. And that's why I call it a Restomod, because it's not the original whatsoever. Just like when you take a old car body and you pick it up and you slam it on a new motor, new transmission, new chassis, but you put the old body on top. That would be called a Restomod in the car world. Basically, we gave the facelift to look like an LMG, but this is doesn't have anything really in common with an LMG other than the fact it has the same handguard. But it looks like one from a distance, which is cool, and it's fun. So we offer this in a carry handle version, which we just call it the Restomod LMG, and then we have it in flat top, which is the LSW, which is what Canada called their version because they did a flat top. And with the flat top, they've usually put like an L-can or something on that, and they call it the LSW. So LSW, LMG, obviously an A2 carry handle. We can make this with the C7 uppers and slick slide upper receivers that are all carry handles too. So you can order a couple different carry handle options if you like. And of course we have the LSW with the flat top. Since there's no real good attachment methods to put modern day things on this handguard, you got to remember this handguard was designed in the 80s. It's not really compatible with a lot of new ideas. It's it's just how it is. There's an accessory that you can buy from Retro Arms where you can get a rail that will attach to your front sight base and then put some pick rail on both sides over here if you'd like. Or you can select on our website the Cross-Tack FSB rail, which will give you a nice point to mount a Picatinny bipod to. We have other guys that just mount to the bipod, to the barrel with like a barrel-mounted bipod. Kind of looks similar to what the old ones were. But like, again, this isn't a perfect copy of anything. It was never meant to be. It was just meant to be something fun and give you the nostalgic feels of running a Colt LMG, which you just, unless you're really rich, you're not really gonna get your hands on. Unfortunately, I want one. I'm still looking for one, but even if it came available, I'm probably not gonna spend the money on it because they're expensive. So this gives you the ability to mount a bipod. And, obviously iron sights. I love iron sights. I grew up on A2 sights. But of course, flat top for the guys that want to either do a detachable carry handle or like an L-can. There's some older EOTechs that should clear this. However, keep in mind, this height wasn't designed for any modern stuff. So there's always a chance that you're going to have clearance issues. You might need to use a riser with certain optics if they extend past the receiver. Just keep that in mind. Obviously, we use an F base on this one and a non-F base on this guy. So you maintain your correct heights. And then with this, of course, we did our heatsink system. And these handguards are on extremely tight. Understand this handguard is also not compatible with anything else. You have to have these square end caps, and that's what's essentially on here. And you can't just slam these on anything without that cap. And also, that doesn't mean you can put like A2 style round handguards on this or anything. They will not fit. You also can't put a RAS rail on it. As people go, I want to put a RAS rail on. Like, it won't. No, it won't. Because underneath here, we still have our 1.25" overall diameter from front to back with our heatsink system. So this is fully encased in the HMS system. But because we're using an A2 front sight base, it is a low profile, which is a problem because you can't run a straight gas tube with this. And you can't put a coil on a bent tube here because the clearances won't allow it. Because then when we put the coil on it, it's like over 1/4 inch in diameter, and there's just no way it fits. So in these builds, as well as a couple other builds that utilize the front sight base, we use the V7 Inconel gas tubes on these. These are just a bent Inconel made gas tube. They hold up very well to heat. I still think our stainless steels with the coil is far superior. But again, different purposes, different roles. And in this gun, you just can't do that. So in here, this is the best option, in my opinion, to make this viable, to have a high round count. You can run it with your FRT, your full auto lower, or whatever you have, and not worry about cooking anything, right? The heatsink system is still going to keep the barrel nice and cool and help it cool off. And the tube is going to go the long haul when it comes to hot temperatures. And of course, you've got the aluminum heat shields here to help run air through it. You can still pour water on this thing right through the top or through the bottom. It doesn't matter. It will help it rapidly cool. When I made this, it's also not really meant to be like your go-to auto rifle. It's still more of a novelty. It's okay to have guns that are just cool, right? It's also fun to do fun things with guns and enjoy them. This one's a little bit more practical if you want to use it as a dedicated system, but just keep in mind you're going to have like a cross-tack rail, and realize you can't really put any of the new modern day like lasers or PEX or lights or anything on here very easily. And it's kind of really hampering you. If you want a really purpose-built auto rifle, we make tons of purpose-built auto rifles in the Recce LMG series and the Recce IAR. I recommend those. But if you're looking for something cool that's got the feels and you get behind it, it's just classic. It's a lot of fun to be behind. It's a lot of fun to shoot. Kind of has that retro aesthetic. And that's why we made them. Because why not? We can. And I think it's a great product. It turned out very well. It sells okay. Again, it's guys come to me for mainly a purpose-built auto rifle, but hey, again, options are great. This is capitalism. We're going to make all sorts of options, and especially utilizing the heat mitigation system, which I try to put on absolutely everything. So um, yeah, I just wanted to show these off. I just haven't had a video for our YouTube yet to just showcase that these exist. We've had a couple guys do videos on them. Blue Jean Operator, Agent Espo, they have done videos on them. A couple other guys have requested to do videos on them, so you'll see more content come out on these, but not our most popular product. But again, it's something we do offer, and if it's something you're looking for, well, we make these to order. You know, they have a lead time on them. The lead time that's going to be labeled on the website is accurate. You know, I hand build all these, so there is a lead time. But other than that, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, shoot us an email at redrighthandllc.com, and we'll answer that, or throw a comment into this, or reach out to any of our social medias. We're on X, we're on Instagram. Find us at Red Right Hand LLC, and answer your questions for you. So thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.